All right, so you're thinking about making a move to Maricopa, Arizona, and you're not exactly sure if you should make the move or not. Well, in this video today, I'm going to be explaining to you the 5 things these were the main reasons that my wife and we were thinking about making a move, and we were looking at Maricopa, but ultimately we decided not to move there, and these are the 5 items. So without further ado, let's get right into number 1. So the first reason and the number 1 reason why we chose not to live in Maricopa, Maricopa is an absolutely amazing town. It's got a lot of amenities. It's growing like crazy. The housing is very, very affordable. But for us, it was just a little bit too far away from the Phoenix area. So obviously, for my job, I drive all over the Phoenix Valley. So the idea of driving, 30 minutes every single day just to get up to the Chandler area, that was not enticing for us. Another major reason that, most people choose not to live in Maricopa, and again, this was just our personal choice, is, my wife, if she found a different job that is in the Phoenix area, or if it's in, Chandler, or if it's in like Phoenix or Scottsdale, she's signing up for a minimum of at least 45 minutes in the car. So really the proximity to, everything in the Phoenix metro, it just wasn't appealing to us as well. We absolutely love to travel. I've traveled all over the globe, absolutely love it. We have family in Nebraska, in the Midwest. So, the idea, again, of having to drive, 45, 50 minutes to the airport once or twice a month, again, it just did not quite work out for our situation. Without anything else, that is our number 1 reason why we chose not to live in the Maricopa area. Now, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you guys know I absolutely love to golf. It's the main reason why I moved down here. Not to mention, the weather is absolutely beautiful. But, one of the reasons why I chose not to live in Maricopa is that, there's not a ton of golf courses. If you've watched our vlog of Maricopa, they do have 2 really, really good ones in the Duke and Southern Dunes. Southern Dunes is by far one of the best courses that I've ever played, not just in the Phoenix Valley. But, for options, and I love to, meet other people and be a part of like golf groups and golf tournaments, Maricopa just does not have a ton of different courses and different variety. They do have 2 amazing golf courses, but if those 2 get busy, you're driving at least 25-30 minutes to get to any other golf course. Now, there are a ton in like the Chandler area, as well as like the Ahwatukee and the western side of Phoenix. But again, if you love to golf and you love to play a different variety of golf, just ask yourself, do you really want to be in the car for 30, 40, sometimes 50 minutes depending on where it's at. So that was a huge reason for us of why we did not choose to move down to Maricopa. Now again, if you're thinking about moving to Maricopa, one of the best parts about it is that the affordability. You could get a brand new home for in the low 300s. And Eric, that might just be 1,000 square feet. No, these are 1,600 square foot homes. They're building like absolute crazy down there. So it's an amazing spot. Just for those 2 reasons, those are the main 2 reasons why we chose not to move down to Maricopa. Now, the third item, and this is a huge part, it goes hand in hand with the first one of being in the proximity to the Phoenix area. But, Phoenix is a very, very well planned out metro. There's a ton of highways, except for getting out of Maricopa, and that is a huge reason, again, why I chose not to move there. There's one highway that goes right through the middle of it. It's Highway 347, and the problem is that there's a couple stoplights. If you're looking on it at a map, it looks, okay, Eric, it's not that bad. It's only, 20 miles. That part's not terrible. It's the fact that there's stoplights on there, and it's a 4-lane highway. So, if it gets backed up, which it really does get backed up in rush hour, that is one of the major complaints that I hear about people that live in Maricopa, is the traffic getting in and out. It can be very, very long. So that is a huge aspect. There's a lot of stoplights getting in and out of Maricopa, and the highway on that 347, guys, I'm gonna be completely brutally honest, it's kind of a nightmare. So that is a major reason why we chose not to live there. Once you're actually in Maricopa, it's not terrible getting around. It's probably, 10, 15 minutes depending on where you need to go. So if you're living on like the east side over at Tortosa, or further on the southern side, again, it's probably gonna take you 10 minutes to get in and out of it. So not terrible, but if you gotta get back to the Phoenix metro, traffic can be an absolute nightmare getting in and out of there. So if you're thinking about moving to Maricopa, just be aware during rush hour it gets really, really backed up. Now guys, if you like this video so far, make sure you click the like button and comment down below. I really wanna know your thoughts about my personal list so far about moving down to Maricopa. And guys, in this channel, we cover everything there is to know about moving to the Phoenix Valley. Absolutely changed my life. I moved here from Nebraska. I absolutely love it here. So we help people just like you that are thinking about making a move to the Phoenix area. So guys, pause the video. If that's you, pause the video. If you're moving tomorrow, if you're moving in a year or 3 years, whatever, pause the video, message us. We are happy to help and share our advice on a smooth transition to the Phoenix Valley. So without further ado, number 4. The number 4 reason why we really did not move to the Maricopa area is they don't have a ton of hiking and outdoor options. Yes, they do have the huge park in the Maricopa area where you got all kinds of sporting fields, the community center, all of that. That's amazing. But one of the really reasons that I absolutely love living in Phoenix, when we first lived here, we lived in like the Midtown Phoenix area where there was hiking within 10 to 15 minutes and you could, climb 2,000 feet on top of a mountain. It was absolutely amazing. It was rad. I loved it. But down in Maricopa, if you love to hike, you got to drive a little bit. Is that the biggest, pain in the world? No, it's not the end of the world, but it is a major reason why we chose to move where we chose. We live in the Ahwatukee area right now, which is in the southern half of Phoenix. And guys, right in our backyard, we can go hike up on South Mountain. When we lived in Gilbert, again, same thing. We just did not like the fact that you couldn't just go hike right around the corner, basically. It's a major perk of living inside like the Phoenix area, right? The upper area. This is kind of a suburb down in Maricopa. But if you love to hike and you don't really want to travel, then, Maricopa might not be the best place for you. It's kind of a small reason, but it was a factor in our decision. The major number 1 and number 3 so far, those were probably the 2 biggest decisions. But, the fact that there wasn't hiking right around us was definitely a deterrent and ended up why we chose to where we did. Now guys, before we get to the last one, again, if you like this video, click the like button and comment down below. I want to know your thoughts about what you thought of Maricopa, as well as where are you moving from. I'm from Nebraska, so want to know where are you moving from. So the 5th and final reason, and actually this was a major reason for my wife of why we chose not to live in Maricopa, is the limited restaurant and just overall shopping scene. So for example, my wife, there we go, absolutely loves to shop at Costco. We go probably once a week just so that she can walk around. She absolutely loves it. And that is at this time, the time of this recording, that is definitely something that Maricopa does not have. So if you got to go to Costco, you're driving at least 30 minutes up into the Chandler area. Doesn't sound like a big deal, and it, with how much I was in the Phoenix Valley, wouldn't have been a major deal, but it is something to consider. Again, this video is all about telling you why we chose not to move there. There's a ton of people that I talked to and have helped that have moved into Maricopa and absolutely love it. But just know that there is a limited shopping scene down in the Maricopa area. Now, one thing that Maricopa also does not have, and it is growing, but it doesn't have the biggest restaurant scene. So if you're a huge foodie, if you love going out and trying all these, new restaurants and like small mom and pop shops, Maricopa is not going to be the best place for you. They are growing, and we're starting to see a ton more restaurants off the John Wayne Parkway. But for the most part, they don't have a ton of restaurants. You'll see a lot of fast food and a lot of chain restaurants. So again, when we lived in the Midtown Phoenix area, that was one of our favorite parts about living there, is that you could just walk down the street and you saw 10 to 15 different restaurants. If you're living in Maricopa, you're definitely not going to find that. There are a ton of restaurants, and it's growing like crazy. There's over 66,000 people there. So, when there's a bunch of movement, there's going to be a bunch of new restaurants and everything like that. Just at the time of this recording, there's not the biggest scene of restaurants and major shopping. If you also love to go to like the shopping malls, the Chandler Fashion Square, again, that's going to be probably 35 minutes. Now, most shopping is done online now, so it might not be a big deal for you. But if you like the big luxury stores up in the Old Town area, that's gonna be like 45 minutes. So again, this entire video is just so that you guys can understand why we chose not to live in Maricopa. I talk so highly of it, especially for people that want their dollar to go a long ways. Maricopa is an amazing spot, but just know that there are these major 5 things of why we chose not to move there. So guys, that wraps it up. Quick overview about why we chose not to live in Maricopa. Again, Maricopa is an amazing spot to live, and I cannot recommend it enough. So guys, if you're thinking about moving to Phoenix, guys, pause the video. Our contact information is down below. We absolutely love hearing from you and cannot wait to help you transition to the Phoenix, Arizona area. So guys, check out the other videos on our channel, cover everything there is to know about moving to Phoenix. So catch you on the next video, and thanks for watching.